my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and I'm joined with Collecto6, aka Stephen Gettner, aka Overstreet Advisor, aka potential recipient of the next big award. We got to get into that. We got to get into that. We're going to talk about that. But first, I'm going to say hi to the people that are in the chat. So we got, who was first today? Who was first? Louis V was first.
Big Lou. Hi, Louis.
And then Jeffrey. Jeffrey,
Yeah.
I need you to reach out to me on Instagram. Okay, so Jeffrey, please reach out to me. I got to discuss something with you. And Kay Munin.
Hi, Andreas.
And Matt.
Big Matt.
And Darren Loves Comics.
Darren.
And JSS.
Hi, JSS.
And JX.
Big JX.
Okay, and that's it.
Hi,
that's
guys.
It for now. There's
nice
other people, but they're quiet.
Nice to see you all.
Oh, and there's Bleeker. Hey, Bleeker.
Hello, Bleak.
Okay, so yeah.
I don't sob much.
Yeah, sobs. I guess we're just sobs. Okay. Oh, and Fiddle Chips. Okay.
Hey, Fiddle.
So yeah, so oh, and then Niobe is here as well.
Hi, Niobe. Hail.
Hail. And actually, Niobe is the one that makes the Niobe comics. Actually.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, it's like kind of sexy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty cool guy. And yeah, so one of the things that I had to sort of talk about in this live stream and this thing is we have been both nominated, well, together, for this show. So this show is the show that is being nominated on the CBCA Awards.
Monday special.
Monday special. And hi, Susie.
Hi, Sue.
And so yeah, basically,
are you in Portland? Okay, go ahead.
She's in Portland. Oh my goodness. I know people in Portland. Do you know somebody from Portland too, don't you?
Yeah, I know Sue.
And oh wait, yeah. I hope you win. Thank you, Heather.
Vote early and often.
Yes. You know, unleash your inner Democrat. Vote.
Oh no. We don't go there. Just please vote for us, because on account of Alan will touch further on this, and I say these things usually in the show, but in all sincerity, we really appreciate you coming by. Yes, and it's been our mission to make a Monday a place to come after all the travail on the weekend and hubbub, to have a nice place to land on Monday, to see nice stuff and scintillating conversation and really cool comic books. And we save the best books we get or have to show on our Monday special for you, because we want to share them specifically with you, and we do appreciate you being here very much.
Nope, Comic Journey, we are alive.
We are not alive. By the way,
I have to talk about Comic Journey. Good guy.
Yes.
Despite what the rumors might be, he's a good guy. So
I like
he actually he actually defended me against
Sticky Goose.
Sticky Goose, the Goosey Doosey. So he was actually saying that I'm not a rat, which I guess is a compliment. So yeah, but you know, I don't know.
That's a negative positive. You're not a rat.
I'm not a rat. So
that's
yes,
and negative.
They were all making fun of
Hello! Hello.
You know, it's funny. I think when you hear your own voice, you don't hear it the way other people do. Okay. So for me, it just sounds like hello, like a very deep, manly hello.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how it sounds like to me. But
Alan Pollock,
I guess it doesn't come across that way. I have a very deep, manly voice, and sometimes it just tweaks the audio.
You have a manly voice? Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys of all ages, we bring you the Monday special, live from Canada and Portland.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very international show. So yes. So basically, CJ was on the Sticky Goose show last night, and I was like, and Sticky Goose was like, oh, Alan, he totally clickbaited off of my thing, right? Where I did a response video to Sticky Goose's whole drama thing, right? And actually, that is my 4th most popular video of all time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that so
I
um
have to try harder, obviously.
so the funny thing was, Sticky Goose is like, "Oh, I made Helen, I made." It's like, okay. And he's like,
Made you
and
work.
he's like, I don't know. So I was like, I thought it was sort of funny. I said, "Hey, I totally clickbaited that one. I totally took advantage of it. Why not?" Okay. I mean, if you can troll a troll, that's like so much fun. Okay, so I'm not really into the drama personally. It's maybe my this is my oasis, this comic thing. Actually, I had a pretty awesome weekend in terms of Oasis and comics. Oh my goodness, I picked up some great stuff. I was like
All
so
right.
excited. And I have a big thing that I have to also tell, like right now. Next Monday, everyone has to watch. Everyone in the world should watch it because I'm going to show something amazing next Monday.
CJ stickers?
Not see. I wish it was CJ Stickers. It's not quite that great,
Not quite.
but it is a
Future
book.
star.
It is a
Future.
book that it was a year in payments that I. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, so
oh,
you know what
oh,
it is.
oh,
It was a
oh,
year in payments. It's a big
oh,
book,
that's great, man.
and he's going to throw in some other stuff with it. So there's going to
Yes,
be some
styrofoam peanuts.
other than styrofoam peanuts. I hope. So
Okay.
hopefully. So that's
Oh,
coming
that's
next week.
exciting.
Yes, it is. I'm pretty excited. It's my grail of grails. It's a big book, so I'm pretty excited about that. Um, oh,
is it
thank
your
you,
dream?
Jerry.
Hi, hey, congrats to you, Jerry.
Congrats to Jerry
I've
as well.
already,
Yes,
I have
I've already
already
voted
voted.
for you, Jerry.
I've already voted for you. I voted for CJ as well, and voted for Bleecker. I did vote for us because I think
I
we do
voted
have
for
a
us too.
very good collaboration and various and assorted. I think that.
And Hazu voted for me 3 times. Thank you,
Oh,
Hazu.
thank you.
Thank you, and thank you.
That's great. Thank you very much, sincerely.
Thank you. It does help. Uh, this is be better not be more
It
clickbait.
isn't. It is not clickbait. I
No, it's
assure
not
you, it
clickbait.
is
So
not
watch next
clickbait.
Monday. It's going to be great. It's going to be
No,
great. You're gonna.
it's a big boy.
It's a big book. It is a big boy book. A year it took me to pay it off. Um,
Gosh.
yeah, it was pretty brutal actually. I was like, I'm like, should I cancel? Should I cancel?
Well,
Because it was just
I
like
said, when,
draining me.
I said, when is this thing gonna harvest? He says 6 months.
Oh,
Then it was
yeah.
4 months, three
It was just
months, 2 months.
expensive. It was an expensive book.
I had to push it back an extra month. And
Yeah, I was like,
oh,
it's like too much. But if you want to vote for us, and I do hope you want to vote for us, the link is in the description of this video. All you do is you go over to the CBCA Award.org, I believe it is. You click the link over, it goes over there, and then it says vote. It's like a big button. You click that button, and then it has like a big long survey.
each
Yeah.
tier gives you the
So
selections and
I'm
stuff.
going to recommend a bunch of channels in this. Okay. I recommend CJ for hands.
I did. I voted for him.
I'm voting for CJ for hands. I actually that's
I
my
did
strong
too. I
recommendation.
voted for him too. I voted
Because
for him.
like that's his trademark, and everyone else it's like the hair thing. I didn't get. I didn't feel it. So
Since I'm not encumbered with hair, I thought that hands were better. Plus, I think that
I can agree with that too.
the hands are much more expressive, and I think that it's a trademark, and I think that it's something that is something that it's CJ coming on, and I think that you've made it your own. Out of everybody on in the comic verse, you've made that yourself, and you make it work, and that's you, CJ. You made that,
Yeah,
dude.
totally. It's the hands thing. It is like it is his thing. He's like two things. So yeah, so
Left and right.
left and right. And then who else did I vote for? I voted for Katie a bunch of times. K-pop.
So did I.
I voted for her for a bunch like community contributor. I
Yeah,
really do believe she deserves that.
she is. She does. She's great.
Uh she doesn't just contribute to the the community, but she actually
Starters,
supports the artists and supports the people that
all those things,
are
and
the
she
ones that we
buys
should be supporting.
their books, supports them, gives them
Mhm.
exposure, talks to them, lays it out, and I mean, she really deserves it, I think.
Yeah. So Jerry is another channel. We both said we
Yes,
supported him.
but he's good looking.
Bleecker.
He's no, he's really good looking, and Jerry deserves it because he's a total stud, and then he knows how to manipulate the books beautifully and make them
He's
beautiful.
awesome. He is awesome. Like I love the fact that he's willing to, like, most people aren't willing to do this, where they take it and make it a whole bunch of parts and
Hmm.
show each step. So you can't mess up. If you're trying to duplicate this, I'm not quite brave enough to duplicate it, but he shows how to do it. And I really do appreciate that. The other channel I said was Bleecker.
Yes,
Definitely vote for Bleecker. Bleecker Church,
yes,
definitely worth it. Definitely
and
worth
to
it.
slab or not to slab, because
Oh
that
yes.
production is so well done, and the characterizations, and Bleak gets to release his inner
I
thespian.
voted for him twice. Yeah, for
I did
those two.
too. I voted for him twice.
And then who else? Lettuce Comics
Lettuce and Hall,
and
yeah.
Hell Yeah. Both of
Hall,
them. They're in separate categories, so
Hale,
it's perfect.
Hall. In America,
Oh,
we
Hell Yeah.
say
Hell Yeah.
Hall, yeah, like
Hell
hell
Yeah.
yeah.
I
It's a
said
play
Hell
on
Yeah.
words.
I said Hell Yeah.
We call that a play on words, Alan, in America.
Okay. Yes, I got the Hell Yeah. I get it.
Okay.
Like a hall.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah. Hell Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hell Yeah. So yeah. So Lettuce and Hell Yeah. And who else?
I hope
Um
that, Matt, I hope that next year you make the cut so your daughter doesn't cry. I was so upset. He said I was waiting for it, and then it didn't. I was felt so relieved. Matt says, "I'm so relieved I'm not on there to have to ask for votes and stuff."
yeah,
And oh, thanks JSS very much. We try hard.
yeah.
And
Church is awesome.
he says I was so happy not to do it, and I told my daughter, and she burst into tears. Oh, Dad, I told all my friends.
Mhm.
I love that. I love that, giving kids something about comics. I love it.
hmm So who else? Who else was there to vote for that we should have voted for?
I voted for Lunch
Automatic
Money Mike.
Comics.
I voted for
Automatic
Automatic.
Comics.
I voted for Lunch Money Mike. I think
Lunch Money. Yeah, that's definitely one that I'd recommend.
and there's some others too, but I think that you and I voted pretty much the same way. A lot of this, I confess that I don't know a lot of these people, but I know
hmm
the people that are in our group, our guys,
I
our
voted for our guys. I was very nepotistic.
and our gang is good. And
Yeah,
I think that it's really I think it's show support and represent for the people we have fun with, and acknowledge the hard work they put into their shows, of which
yeah,
Alan is one.
yeah. I put a lot of work into this channel. It might
I
not
know
show
you
it,
do.
but I do.
No,
I do
I
put a
know
lot of
you
work
do.
into this. Definitely, if you can vote for me for 3 categories. I know it's a lot of voting for me, but please do so. And one of those, you're actually voting for Steven. What is this? What is that? I'm gonna make you big because I'm curious. What is that? Zoom in, zoom, 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 zoom.
Official Vampirella Scarlet Legion fan club.
Wow.
This came out of Canada. I'd never seen it before.
I have one, but not that. Mine was just an envelope. I actually bought it back in the day.
And this is what's inside.
Oh wow. This must be modern. This is like, is this a recent thing? Very cool.
And there is
Is that like an ash can panther?
I have a Ashcan Pantera Panther. It
Panther.
has I'm all registered. I'm all registered as a paying member.
Oh
Um,
wow. Send me the link for that and I'll do that too. Yeah, I'm a big Vampirella fan. Oh
this is
wow.
all foil.
Oh wow.
Isn't that
Very
fun?
nice. That is really awesome. So wait, what? How do you join this? How do you do this?
I tell you, Alan, but then I'd have to kill you.
Oh no. Well, can you tell me without? Oh wow, it even comes with a picture. I think I had that actually. Strangely, is that from Harris or is that Dynamite?
Harris.
Yeah, I have the Harris one as well.
And here at the bottom,
Do you get a pin or?
no, I wish I did, but I think that's too expensive. Uh, we
I got a
have
little pin with mine. So when I joined. Oh yes, I have that as well.
Scarlet
So this
Letters,
is the original one.
Harris Comics,
It's the Scarlet Letters.
and then I got this one too.
So this must be some like retro thing. This is okay. So just so you know, I joined the Harris Vampirella fan club way back in the day, like back in the 90s. But some of those look like modern books mixed in. So it's really odd. Very cool. Very, very cool.
So I thought the minute I saw that, I said, I wonder. I said, I don't know if Alan has it. I'll take a chance.
I have some of it. I have some of it, but some of it's not stuff I have.
It wasn't terribly expensive, but I just
What?
really.
What fiddle chips? I'm not the sidekick. He's the sidekick. Wow. I don't know. My audience sometimes. Okay.
They're brilliant. Brilliant.
I don't know whose side they're on. Okay. But
okay, since I'm at it, I'm going to show. I want
sure.
to show 4 more books, and then I will relinquish the field to you to
Okay.
start the stuff. I what I am going to do because I think that we're going to have more eyeballs on us, at least co-hosts. Yes.
Yes, I agree with that.
Since we're going to have more eyeballs, I'm going to try to pull out more different stuff and dig deeper into my safe. Today I have out my Amazing Fantasy 15, Wonder 15, Avengers 1,
Oh wow.
Adventure Comics 247, Hulk 1, the first appearance of Groot in Astonish, and my Startling 49. This is
You're gonna bring that out next week, you mean, or this week?
I have them right here behind me.
Oh wow. But I thought you got a bunch of books that were all that stack that you had. You're gonna show some of it.
I have, Alan. These are just the display. The display. I've had these books for a while. I just wanted to put out some nice display books that I have.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So I see the Hulk 1 in the background, and you have a high grade AF-15, right?
I will show them.
Okay. Wow.
I'll show 3 now, and then I'll show some just later on.
Wow, you're like I now I gotta feel like I gotta grab some bigger books.
This is my 6.5 AF-15 in white pages, no Marvel chipping.
So I have the better green label.
It does coordinate better. I admit.
I was joking.
Here's nice. My Hulk #1 in a 7.5. This has no Marvel chipping and white pages.
Wow. Wow.
Both the AF-15 and this Hulk I purchased at market prices in 2014. So 10 years ago.
Like how much were they back then?
Okay, this was 40,000.
Oh wow. But now it's like 100,000 roughly?
And this was 35.
Okay, and it's probably over 100,000 as well.
So they have portrayed. And my heart was that I wanted to get Showcase 4, but my head told me, look, Showcase 4 is just not going to do what AF-15 or Hulk 1 will do.
Exactly, Vinny. Oh my goodness, I feel so unworthy sometimes. Okay, and yes.
This one, hi,
Epoch.
Hi. And this one here, thank you. This one here, back in the day, I was collecting Schomburg covers, and one of the first ones that I chased was this. In the Startling run with the airbrush covers, I was buying pretty much all of the ones for between $125 and $175, and these are all mid-grade, 5, 6, 6, 7 kind of things. And then this one, even in the day, was $375, which was absolute top of the market. This would have been in 1997 that I bought this. I bought it off eBay in 1997 or 98, one or the other, and I paid $375 for it. It came back a 5.5, and it is really.
I always like to do the twinsy thing. Okay, go
Oh,
ahead. Sorry.
it came back to 5.5. I know it's a 6, but I'm not going to go. I'm not going to do all the hee haw and what have you. I had it cleaned and pressed by the outfit back that goes with the CSS or whatever it was with the
Mm-hmm.
CBC.
So you
So I
said you
don't
paid $400 for that?
375 with
Wow.
shipping.
I'll trade you. I paid more for my copy.
This one, but those are part of they're part of
Is
my
Biggie
PC,
here?
and I don't
Oh,
sell.
hi, Biggie.
Hey, Big. Hi-oh. And so what I'm going to do is I want to basically show everybody that may be coming here for the first time that the sorts of things that we do, because Alan and I have shown these kinds of books quite often in our
Mm-hmm.
partnership that we've been going on for a while now.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, Alan was the very first channel that I was on of all the comic everything. And that was, I think, like 2 years ago, wasn't it, Alan?
Something like that. I'd say so.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I was 100 pounds heavier, and I didn't want to show people who I was. I wanted to remain anonymous and just write about it. But my spouse said you should go on because I think you can add something to it, and I think Alan's a good guy.
Yeah, I would actually, I'm so nice came unit that I'd give him like maybe even $800 for that book.
I just can't take advantage of it, friend. So I'll show later on. I'll show the other 4 books, and I have been collecting Golden Age and high grade Silver Age and Bronze since 1988, when I sold my original collection. So I was a completist, and I collected from 1965 up to 1988, and the whole 77 or 80 long boxes of Silver Age completist. It was a lot of stuff. And then I basically rolled all that profit into buying Golden Age books, Schomburg's in particular, and then started that whole down that road. And then I rebuilt the silver ones that I liked the best, but I rebuilt them in high grade. And that way, then I only would have to do it once. And then I learned my lesson very early: just don't sell, because once you have it, then you don't have to try to upgrade and do all of that stuff. So this is all, everything is like that. So anyway, I got this from one of the friends of the channel. His name is Whodat Comics and Movies, and he has a Band of Brothers auction, and this was one of them. This is a Greg Land
Oh, wow.
sketch cover, and this is a 1 in 50.
And that's She-Hulk, right?
I think so.
Very nice.
At the San Diego Comic Convention, there were any number of exclusives, which they always do. And there is a book that has been talked about and has taken off like there's no tomorrow, and is one of the best of the pre-code horror books that there is, and there have been many homages of it. And so an outfit basically decided that it's robopictocomics.com, decided they would do a special for the San Diego Comic-Con, and they only made 53 of these books, 53 only, because the book came out in 1953, which is amusing because I came out in 1953.
Nice.
But what it is it's Chamber of Chills, and it is a special color scheme for the Chamber of Chills. Was it 19 or 16?
19.
19.
I'm trying to pick up a copy of that. I just can't find it, actually. Very nice.
And this one, it comes with a little thing. This is number 29 of 53. I bought this from Whodat, who is
and you bought 3 more recently.
I did. Someone vacillated and tried to get fancy, so I just got the chase.
I wasn't sure about the price. I thought it was cheaper than that.
I was concerned for you, and I didn't want you to worry, so I solved the problem.
I bought them all.
But anyway, the color scheme, and it's the condition is just it's 9/8. I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful copy.
Yeah, it is solid.
And Whodat packs his books like my comic shop. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you hear me ring who rang that bell, like the Wizard of Oz, there was a live stream where what's on the comic rack, Mr. Akins, and a bunch of the other
Well,
guys.
we just kept on saying my comic shop
They
like a
said it
million
so
times.
many times that finally he's a teacher. He took a little bit. Now on, let's do. If we're going to say that, we don't have to say it. We'll just go like that. So then I came in late. I came in late to the stream, and then I said, "Well, I just got this from my comic shop, and all these bells are ringing." And I did a couple of books, and I said, "What am I missing?" And then they told the story, and I thought that was so good. And of course, I happen to have, because I was in the hotel business. I'm a third generation hotelier before I retired. I have the front desk bell that we had at the Imperial Hotel. I brought it home as a souvenir, which it was there for decades. But in any event, so that's what happens. So if you hear a bell, it's not only angels getting their
Oh,
wings, but
oh, I was saying, enjoy your time at Disney, Jerry.
yes, have a good time. Okay, so that's that one from San Diego. Here is another. I have two more on this, and then I'll relinquish to you, Alan. I have another one here, which is another San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and it is of Usagi Yojimbo. It is signed by Stan Sakai and then another fellow, and I can't remember his name. They were the two fellas signing, and they were signing in gold ink. And here is a Virgin variant Usagi Yojimbo signed by both creators of this book. Isn't that a beautiful copy? Are you there, Alan? I don't know what happened to Alan.
Hey, I'm back. I just got,
Okay. What happened? Did someone call you?
my wife called me.
It's a good thing. Good thing we're never doing a show on Mondays, Alan. Isn't it?
Yeah. I only tell her every week.
It's pretty hard to figure that one out. I have one more, and then I will give it to you.
Okay, I'll let you go big again.
Okay, one of the areas that I do collect. I collect a lot of areas, but one of the things, the most important thing that I collect is about the history, because I feel if you know what the history of the books are, it colors the cheeks of the book itself for what were kids feeling and doing when these books came out. World War II books in particular, when a book came out, then the Normandy invasion was happening, the Battle of the Bulge was happening, the Battle of Midway had just happened. I mean, all these different things, these huge events that were going on, and comic books went right through the golden age of books. Comic books went right through the war. And so it's very interesting. And then post-war, after the atomic bomb dropped in 1945, the Japanese sued for peace. The Germans were all pretty much done anyway. And so then came the Red Scare. And then we had Korea, which was a mess, which was so soon after War II, which was a mess. But the communist scare was quite something. And the atomic age books talking about communism are remarkably more brutal than the World War II books are, with the possible exception of Captain America 46, which is the Holocaust cover with Captain America, where the Jews are being loaded into the ovens. And Captain America comes in to kick the hell out of the Nazis, which is what you would do. But the Red Scare was big. But here is a Fawcett book where
yeah, nice.
It's Beware King Culler's on the Loose. And this is just a very famous cover.
Yeah.
With blood, you'll notice he has blood. He's blood on his hands. You know that expression? He has blood on his hands.
Yeah.
They have blood on their
And he's
hands.
just squashing them like they're bugs or something.
He's squashing them down like bugs. Isn't that just a cool cover?
Yeah, I have a very faded copy of that. I wish that one there is so beautiful. I mean, really great colors on it. You did well.
Thank you very much. So anyway, this was an eBay find. This was not the store that shall remain a ding. So that's my first. That's all my raw books.
Okay.
I relinquish to you.
Okay, very, very cool. So I'll show some books as well. I'm gonna show you one that's disappearing from my collection actually. So 1 second, let me go solo. Okay, first here's my Hulk one. It's not as pretty as yours, but still, it's not. It presents well. There's no chipping, and it's it's reasonable copy for a 2.0. It was what I could afford, and it actually presents reasonably well. I don't know why it's such a low grade actually, but presents really well. So I liked it. So that's my Hulk. But the book that's leaving my collection is actually because of you, Stephen.
Uh-oh, what did I do?
Well, you gave me a book, so I had to then I had it doubles.
Why
So
did I do that?
I know. So you gave me the one that's right behind me, the Black Cat #1, and I had this book. So what I want to do is I have to trade that. I'm trading this with Mark Olroyd. I have another book that I really like. It's just I don't like my copy of it. So it's a Silver Surfer #1, and he has a 3.5 of it. So it's a nice presenting Silver Surfer #1. So I'm actually going to trade my Black Cat #1 for his Silver Surfer #1. And it worked out that the price per point was about the same. It worked out that this was about the same value as his book.
I love that cover image.
Yeah, actually, for a 1.0, this one looks really solid. Like, I mean, it's actually a really nice presenting. It's just the spine, I think, is split. So you can't really tell, but it presents really well for a 1.0. It's quite a solid copy.
Could you make can I join you? Just
Oh
for a
yeah,
second?
yeah. You can show your copy of it as well.
My copy of what?
Oh, I thought you were gonna show.
What? You mean
Well, you
this?
said, yeah, that one, yeah. We
You
gotta
didn't
do
know
the
I had
twinkle.
it.
Well, I thought I mean, I figured you had it.
How?
I
Why
mean,
did you figure I had it? I didn't.
you're just that kind of guy that would have it. So
When I sent yours, that was it.
so yeah, I know.
I had to
And
go
then so you had to pick up another copy.
I had to go looking.
So but you got a nice one too. Actually, yours, you know what's weird? Every time this yellow gets really grungy.
Yes.
Your copy right there, it's not grungy.
No.
It looks really nice. Very pretty.
The
Like, I don't
colors
know.
on the colors of the cat, you see, there's a little more red and blue on this one. You see in the purple of the top, it's just a hair, but I was stunned I got this to find this
But
because I was so happy to have that one that I just, but you were so upset. I had to give it to you.
well, you got it for a really great price. The other one, the one that's behind me. I mean, still expensive, but a good price for what
It
you
is.
got. And,
Yeah.
yeah. But you see how the yellows, I mean, it gets kind of this weird grime on it. It almost looks like if it could be cleaned, it would be so much better. But yours
Yeah.
doesn't have that, so it's very nice copy.
Thank you.
I'm glad you got one as well. So that's
Well,
good.
I didn't know what I was going to do. I had this because I love the Black Cat
No,
too.
it's a great book.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was breaking. Just don't go away, Alan. The
Mhm.
thing is, Alan and I we feed on each other. So like we'll call
Mhm.
about something, and then something will come up, like the Kellogg's souvenir
Jeez.
of
I got like 20 of those now.
cereal. This is wait a minute. There's another one. Wait a minute. There's another one. So both
Mhm.
of us are buying as we go. That the FOMO is just
Going
rampant.
crazy.
It's like it's raining down on me.
You know, the whole time I'm thinking when we did the Kellogg's one, where we
Yeah,
kind of both FOMO'd on that and went, I don't know, we went in this weird crazy mode.
it was
Um,
awful. It was fun.
I no, I was like, oh my god, somebody's gonna buy this, and I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get this one key issue has the boot girl on the cover, on the back, and all
Yeah,
this
the
kind of thing.
lady in the woman
And
in the
oh, but
shoe.
there's the elephant one. I gotta get the elephant one too. Oh, and there's this other. And I was like,
Then there's the orange, and there's the green, and then there's the
yeah, it's
white,
like
and there's the bigger, and all this stuff.
there's bigger and the little one.
But
There
they
was
made several of them from 1909. You know,
1909 to
1909.
1930s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they had, it's just, but it's cool. I mean, it's just a cool thing.
it's a cool book. I'll actually next round I'll show them just because
Okay, I've
people will
got
be
mine
like, "What are you
out.
talking about here?" I'll
We'll show those.
yeah, we'll show
Okay,
those because
make you big.
it'll
I'm
make sense.
sorry.
Okay, but yeah, I'll. So that Black Cat #1 is leaving my collection. It's going over to England. It's going on a long journey. I'm sending it out tomorrow. But I'm a big Black Cat fan. So I have her first appearance, which is in Pocket Comics #1. This is where you first see Black Cat. Um, in the next big unboxing that I'm doing from Stackery, I will be getting the very first cover appearance of Black Cat, which is Pocket Comics #2. But this is Pocket Comics #1, and you can see it says Black Cat. This is where she makes her first appearance. My copy is a little rough. It's kind of barely surviving, but it is complete. So yeah, so that's when's my next Stackery coming? It will be, I'm gonna ship it. I'm waiting for my Heritage auctions to get mailed out. Once those get mailed out and they get received at Stackery, then I'm sending out my Stackery. So probably it's about 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away before I get my next Stackery unboxing. It's going to be huge. Just some of the books in it. I know of at least 5 grails. 5 grails that are in that next Stackery boxing. I can think of at least 5 that are just massive books. But yeah, so that's going to be a pretty cool one. And there's like lots of other great stuff that's going to be in the next Stackery unboxing. But so Black Cat is an interesting title. And I just figure I'll show you some random stuff from Black Cat. So we got this one. This is where it was still Black Cat, but it became Black Cat Western. And it's like, it's still called Black Cat at this point, but the next issue or two becomes Black Cat Western, where it's a Western comic at that point. And then later on, it became Black Cat Mystery. So you got, and she leaves the comic. So these are, oh, geez, I'm giving myself a thumbs up again. Okay.
Well, somebody will.
I always do that. Somebody has to give me a thumbs up. Okay. So this one is really cool. I just like that he's encapsulating.
I like the face down in the lower corner there, the green face with the nice eyes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That is very cool.
You know, this is kind of like an encapsulation thing going on. If it was just had like a little CGC thing right there, it would be perfect. You know, like she gets like graded. So yeah, just a very cool Black Cat mystery. This is, I forgot what issue number this is. Number 34 from 1952. I wrote it on the back, or somebody wrote it on the back. So yeah, there's that one. And then LB Cole actually did, I think this is LB Cole. Maybe I'm mistaken. It looks like LB Cole. It might not be though. I might be mistaken.
I think are you sure it's not Lee Elias?
Yeah, Lee Elias. That's why I was just going to correct myself because the guy's face looks very.
I mean, that's the dead giveaway with him.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Lee Elias did a lot of the covers for Black Cat. The most famous is probably Black Cat number 50, which is the one where he's like falling apart. He's eating the radium. So yeah, just Black Cat mystery, and then one more Black Cat mystery.
Gosh, if I'd known you were going to show those, I would have brought the. I think I have one Black.
Well, you know, we got to show different things. Let's show different things. This is another Lee Elias cover, and then I know you have a really nice copy of this, but I'm gonna just show it anyways. This is my copy of the last issue of Black Cat. This is by this point, it has the Comic Code Authority, and this was the last issue. It didn't go any further than this.
Had a really good run though. What is that? 66?
Really good run.
66?
65. 65.
So from was it 1940 was the Pocket Comics or 41?
I think it's 40. I believe it's 1940, and then it goes to issue number 65 in Black Cat. So I'm not sure when that is. Like early, I think it's 62, 1962, something like that.
Okay.
By the way, hi Lettuce. Vote for Lettuce, by the way, if you're watching. He's a good guy. Sometimes joins us on the Friday streams.
We hope to see you on this coming Friday. We're going to be doing modern books for our Friday hangout.
Yeah, so you got to come for our Friday stream.
Make some time for us, Mr. Big Shot. Vote, Mr.
Yeah,
nominated Big Shot.
And this is in the same box as my Black Cats. I just thought this was a really interesting one. Battlefront. I'm not sure who did the art for this one.
It's got the star code on it too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that it has the. This is the ACMP. Yeah, American Comics Magazine Publishers.
Died of boring before the Comics Code Authority.
Actually, it lasted fairly long. It lasted like from 1946 to 1954. So it didn't really do much, but it was around for a while.
They started it in 46?
Yeah, 46.
Gosh, I didn't realize that the drum beat was already starting, that they wanted to have.
Oh yeah. Sure? No, Wortham was really active in the early 40s and all the way up. He was really pushing it. I mean, it took a while, but he did hammer those nails into that coffin of the comics. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. So yeah. So those are my books for this round. I'm going to get the Kellogg's ones out. Did you get the Kellogg's ones out?
I already pulled mine out while I was.
Okay, I'll let you show them then.
Okay, I will show.
Yeah, one sec here. Let me make you big. Okay.
This is the first one is the biggest one.
Size-wise.
Yeah, yeah, they're size-wise. But look at how the printing. This is 1909. It was a giveaway. A little later on, then they would charge for them. I think they 10 cents or a nickel, or I can't remember what it was. But you look at the elephant and you look at the vest he's wearing, how the cuffs of his shirt and cufflinks.
It reminds me of Babar.
Yeah, Babar. See, that's all the people that are Eurocentric go Babar. Babar the elephant. My father,
well, that's his name.
I had one of the books from my father's childhood was Babar, and he said, that's a really fun book. It's Babar. You can, I don't know whatever happened to it. I loved it. It was a really cool book. But anyway, there's this one. That's the first one.
Very cool.
Then they get a little bit smaller, but still the same with the same content. You can see the colors are a little bit more vivid on this one than the very first one. And the giraffe has all this stuff on him, and but the vest and the green, but almost like looks like a paisley. But he has the green and white check shirt, and he's got a green bow tie, and then the little black.
Can you open one up and just show the coolness of them? They are pretty cool. Pick one. Yeah.
Let me just show this one, and then I'll open this one to show. And then this is the variation with a green cover.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, they actually, not only was it copyrighted, this shows that it was patented. This was
patented in
1907.
07, that's right, but didn't get printed, I think, until
it wasn't printed, copyrighted until 1909. I heard that Kellogg's got sold. Did you hear that to Cadbury? Was it, or Mars?
Oh, really? Yeah, I heard they were planning on buying each other. One was buying one out, the other out.
But this is the kind of stuff that Alan and I will talk about something, and we'll say, "What about that? Have you seen that?"
So the question that led to this? The question that led to it was, "What is the first promotional comic?"
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That's the question that led to this crazy rabbit hole that we both went down.
Well, look, I found.
And we went down together. It was funny. We were like on the phone together. Like, oh, you gotta get this one. You gotta get this one.
Here's the link. Here's the link for this one. No, here's the link for that one. Here's the back cover of this one, Kellogg's Corn Flakes.
Okay, so that's a later issue. Yeah.
Yes, it is, because the very first one has the little old lady who lived in a shoe.
Yes.
It's the first one. To market, jiggity jog. Bring back cornflakes made by Kellogg. Crispy and brown and good as can be. I love them. You'll love
I guess it was 36 billion and it was sold to Mars.
Okay. Another helping, that's me. And he's got a rooster pulling him in a cart with a box. I mean, this is, and so inside, this is heavy, it's cardboard. But what happens is you have these
flip things. I love those as a kid. And you make the different characters.
You can change the pictures.
It is really
And
cool.
it survives to this day because they were made so well.
Really well made.
So you can change the pictures on both sides. Everybody gets different, everything lines up beautifully. And these are old and they're not expensive. 25, 30, $15.
Yeah, I
Something
bought one for
like
like
that. So they're
10.
not
It was
expensive.
really cheap, really cheap.
And they are amazing. They're
Pieces of history.
they are pieces of history.
Yeah. Neither of us own weekly motion pictures or Motion Pictures Weekly. Um, yeah. I'd love to own that book. It's one of my grails I would love to have in my collection, but I don't own it. Don't own it.
Isn't that fun?
Yes, very cool. Very, very cool.
And of course, Alan has all of these that I have too. So you're seeing exactly what Alan has.
Yeah, I have a big stack of them as well. It's like
I have the three. I have the three.
I
The
think I
first.
have 3 or 4.
I think you have one other one. I think you have a one that I don't.
Yeah,
But I thought that
I think you got
I
enough.
don't want to have this thing go out of my go too far because I don't want to let comics rule my life, Alan.
Yeah. Since when?
Yes, man. So I have stuff to show. Do you want me to show?
Yeah, show some stuff.
All right, I will. More stuff. Again with Whodat, Whodat Comics and Movies. Really nice fella down in New Orleans, and as I said, the Banded Brothers auction and very good deals and interesting stuff. And Whodat has the ability, and I don't know how he does it, but he always finds these amazing ratios, like 1 in 50, 1 in 100, 1 in 200, 1 in 500. Gets finds out can get them signed and then slammed, and then he will every so often put these up for sale. It's just amazing the stuff he finds. This is I think this is the very first, one of the first, Nakayama, and what's Nakayama's first name? Okay, David. David Nakayama. And when he had 2 copies of this, and one of them he had signed when he saw Dave Nakayama and Dallas, I think. And here is Apocalypse.
Oh wow.
And the extracts. What a
very, very sexy.
Isn't
That's
that
nice.
cool?
That is really cool.
Just
it looks like her clothing is just like flowing off of her or something.
It's just all it is flame. But the color, to have a pink covers are not all that.
Yeah, it has a very Beyonce look to it.
It does.
I can see that.
It does. How's our chat doing, Alan?
Our chats seems like they're still alive.
Any newcomers? Hello, Darren.
Yeah, Darren came in, and somebody else. I saw somebody else. One sec here. And the comic collector.
Howdy, nice to see you.
Oh wait, and there was one. There was one above that. One sec. And Catherine, a woman.
Oh, Catherine.
A female in the audience.
That's my daughter.
Oh, is that your daughter?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow, that's cool.
Hello, Catherine.
So we have like multiple generations here. That's very
great. Cool. Thank you for watching.
How old is your daughter?
She is of an age that I do not propose to say how old. She's in her 30, sort of.
Okay.
She's lovely and beautiful girl, young woman.
That's very cool. That's very cool.
Like her mom.
Okay, very nice.
This one is another one from Whodat, and this is the first She-Hulk. Hola, revolver. We don't need no stinking revolvers here. Salvar. This is Hulk number 16, and this is a variant edition from 09.
Oh wow. Okay. And is that the first red She-Hulk cover or something like that? I think
cover. I think she appeared somewhere, but this is
she appeared somewhere, but not on the cover before this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like the variant, which is even more expensive than the regular one, I think.
I just love the layout of this thing, and the cover was done by Ed McGuinness.
Oh, nice.
Okay, there's that. I have been doing a certain amount of Doom spec
Okay.
because Robert Downey Jr.
Oh,
Presented
geez.
himself and then took the mask off, and the place went wild. So in 2 years, we're going to have Robert Downey Jr. as Doom, and then the question of which books are Doom spec that are about the plot or the first or whatever. And so there's quite a bit of, and then really nice Doom covers now are taking off, because in 2 years' time, if this is a blockbuster, which with Robert Downey Jr. in it, and they do it right, and I think that it augurs very well. So here's one of the first ones, again from Who Dat. This one he is convinced is a 9.8, but it's actually a 9.6.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's the second print, but for some reason that book has actually taken off more than
It,
the first print.
that's because the cover is way better.
Way better, yeah.
It's just a great, and there's something like only 800 or some of these on the, there are only 800 were printed. So whatever the survival rate, I
Oh
managed to
wow.
find it. They were like 450 to 479.
Yeah, they were
And then
crazy.
and
I was shocked how
I
expensive
tried
they
to
were.
come up. I tried to buy one for 375 or whatever. No, decline, decline. And it's one of these ones, guys. You know what it's like when you're buying something, best offer. So it's
Oh,
400,
it's best offer
450,
sometimes.
400, decline, 410, decline, 420, decline. Screw you. I mean, it was if 450, 449.95, declined. I mean, why put that on there? I mean, if you're gonna, and then a guy had one for 4.25, and I very cheekily put 300, and he took it. So
Wow.
it's on its way to me right now. But Who Dad said, I assure you, if you resubmit that, that'll come back a 9.8. But I
Yeah,
am,
it's one of those ones where you probably, resubmit and you'll get the 9.8 if you press it one more time or whatever it is.
yeah. Okay, so now here is some Zenoscope entertainment for you. If you know about
Okay.
Zenoscope, you'll know what sort of entertainment that is. This is an Elias Chatzudis cover, and it's the showcase edition, limited to 75 books.
Oh yes, the booty cover. That's very nice. And I don't even know who the character is.
It looks like Black Cat or Catwoman, or
But it's not, it's Zenoscope, so it's gonna be something
so
else.
it looks to me like Batgirl or something, because she's got that, or Huntress.
Yeah.
I can closer
It
to
looks like the
Huntress.
Huntress because of the cowl.
The
Well,
cowl.
not well, lack of cowl mask, I guess it is.
Yeah, she looks Huntressy, and they have various ones where she's in black, but she has leggings and stuff.
Oh,
This
who
one,
that's here, by the way.
hey, I've been singing your praises.
And Hall Ya's here too.
Hey, you came
We
down
were
from
recommending you.
Hall, yeah, you came down from Olympus to come hang out with us poor lowly serfs after your nomination for the best unknown channel. That's just wonderful.
He's now known. So what does that do?
He's only just getting known.
He's
He's a good
known.
guy, and I hope, Paul. Yeah, I hope you come on Friday. We're going to do modern books. We just saw Lettuce, and we want both you guys to come on. We've had them on a couple times. They're great guys,
Yeah,
and
it'd be nice if they both can come
I hope
because
you
we'll
guys can
promote them.
come Friday. So if you can make your schedules and just talk with Alan and see what we can do. Here is another Who Dat book. Thanks, Sky. Here's another Who Dat book, and this one is really something and is taken off. This is The Avengers, The Children's Crusade #3. And this is an Arthur Adams cover variant that was signed by Arthur Adams.
Oh yeah, I was really debating when he showed the second copy of that. I was really debating about buying it. I just, it's a lot of money. It's an
It's an
expensive book.
incredibly cool book.
Oh yeah, no doubt
So,
about that.
but this is the kind of stuff that Who Dat has, that he will put up in the Band of Brothers auction, and then Bleeker's there, and Cali Comics, and Biggie Shack is there. We have who else? Various and assorted. Roscoe was there this last time too.
Papa Wheelie was there.
Papa Wheelie was there.
Papa Wheelie is so funny.
had a
He always has these huge stacks.
giant runs of books to buy, and and then we start bidding, and some poor guy was up against me. There was a black cat run, and some poor person was up against me, and every time 50, 55, 58, 60, pause, 62, 65. Finally, we got up to, I put in 100, then it's 110. Then the guy comes back 111. Then I put, and then it ended up, he put up to 112. I put 113, and then he says, fold. And then later on, I think Roscoe had some, and then he started to bid, and then I wanted them because they were cool. And then he saw that I was coming in, and he goes, everything I want, that guy gets. I just said, well, it's cool stuff. Bid me out. I'm happy to be bid out. But there you go. Isn't that a great one? Thank you,
yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice.
Mr. Hoodad.
He's saying that I can get it and pay it off in 2 weeks. I might consider that, Hoodad. I might.
Don't consider it. Just do it. You're rolling at it, Alan.
Well, not yet. Not yet. I still have a lot of things I have to pay.
Okay. Now, if you have any other things to show, I have 4 more slabs to show, and then I have
you show your 4 slabs, and then I'll be the grand finale in this case.
Okay, fair enough. Ladies and gentlemen, this is from a company called Tuxedo Tiger Comics, and this is one called Duty Calls Girls #2. It is somewhat sexy. It has the spoiled rotten. Is what it is.
Oh, I bid on this, by the way.
And it's a Jake T. I don't know who Jake T is, but you have these things where you'll have paper covers, you'll have foil covers, you'll have what's the one where the
lenticular?
The lenticular covers. But they did something that I've never seen, and I bought one a while ago, and it was a perfect 10. There were only 7 of them. They submitted them to CGC, and only one came back as a 10, and I bought it. And again, same company. Here is a leather cover. It's made out of leather.
Wow.
And do you see this? Do you see how the kind of the pebbling of the hide? You see on the leather on it there?
It's a very nice book. And
it shows.
And this is the only 10 on the census, right?
This is the only 10 that's on the census.
I agree, Hazu.
So I just thought, sort of a Snow White looking thing.
I actually bid on a copy, but what happened was I bid, and then I sort of went away for a minute, and then came back, and then I missed the end of the auction, so I missed that little counter bid. So I was so dumb. I don't know. I missed out on it.
Okay, here are the last 3 are my biggest ones. I always leave the best ones for last. Hello, Sky. Again, gulp.
Rachel Zegler?
Rachel Zegler, no, it's Jake T, I think is what it is.
No, Rachel Zegler is the one that's playing Snow White in
yes. This goes back to Doom Spec, and I will confess that I was talking with the immortal Biggie Shack because he found up a Doom Spec, which is, I think it's Alias or whatever it is, and it's a very early one that has Stark as Iron Man having the Doom mantle on. But it's Exiles or whatever it's called. And we were talking, and I said, yeah, I've been kind of doing some Doom Spec. And then Biggie said, well, the thing I got to get is I got to get a Fantastic Four annual #2 because that is I know it's going to go. And I want to get one before it goes. And it was incredible because I had just put in a bid for it. And the guy was, I think, at $1,850 or something. No, it was $1,475
wow.
for a 7.5, but with off-white pages. And so I put in one. I looked at at Go Collect to see what the FMV on it was, and it was $1,050. So I put $1,050, and he took it.
Oh, hey, Alex.
Hey, Alex, nice to see you.
I'm actually doing a video for Alex. I think I might air it soon. where I'm doing like a room tour because he's doing a tag video for room tours.
Well, I saw your picture on Instagram, Padawan, and it looked great. It looks just great. Um,
Hmm.
but this is really a bright, bright copy. Annuals always take a beating. I had this book. This is from 1964. All of my books from 1959 to 1965 were thrown away by my mom. I told the story, but anyway,
Hmm.
uh, no malice or anything. Just it was clutter, and she thought I didn't want them, even though I had put them all away in a place where she wouldn't see them or have a problem. She found them, thought they were clutter, all hidden away, and threw them all away. This
Yeah.
was one of the ones that
No,
she.
not you're not bitter about it, at least.
I'm not bitter. I've got over it. But she this book I read so many times because it has the origin of Doctor Doom, and in the story, he hi Casme.
Hmm.
In the story, he's in college, and Reed Richards is there with him, and Doom is doing illegal experiments, trying to
Experiments, yeah.
contact his dead mother in the afterlife or whatever. Which
Hmm.
they come back to that later on with Doctor Strange a couple times, but to try to contact his dead mother. But he's trying to do it. He has this helmet thing on his head, and then they show a picture down the hall where there's an explosion in Doom's room, and his face is just completely mangled. And they kick him out of the university. He's not over it. And it ended up that he got kicked out of the university. Then he goes on a search or whatever, like they always do, and he ends up, I believe, in Latveria. And I
Yeah.
don't know if there's a connection yet because they retconned him as that he became. Then he's the head guy of
He's
Latveria.
the king of Latveria,
He is the
basically.
emperor of. And but when these guys are this is we will adorn you or whatever, and they have this mask that he has on his face here, and he says, "Your my face is so misshapen or terrible. I need to it says we will now make your face for you or whatever." And they have this thing is super hot, and they show these guys. You look from behind and you see them coming in with this hot mask, and they sizzle it right on. They seal it right onto his face. It melds with his face, and it's
Mm.
so it basically this hot metal onto his face. And as a kid in '64, I was 11. Um,
Hmm.
I just thought that was the coolest thing, and I read that story over, and the rest of the story, the rest of the annual is really good too, actually. But
Hmm.
that story always, and I always kind of tangled that up with the FF5. But and I loved, I had FF5 as well, which anyway, and I loved the way the thing was Blackbeard the pirate. That's just a great story. Melts on his face, not in his hand, right?
Yeah.
So this is part of my Doom spec. This is probably the biggest Doom spec book I've got. I
I
have,
think that's probably the best Doom spec because it is an origin story. You know what I mean?
I think, and there's a lot of it. I think it's a much better concept as a cover concept than FF5. FF5 tends to be dark and dull. It really
I
does.
like
This
FF5.
it's dull. And then the other one is
Oh
is
my
I think it's
goodness.
number 16. That's the pink cover where he has the FF in his hand, and he's like this, and Ant Man's up, and is it 12 or 16? It's 16, and the Ant Man's coming in, who is one of my favorite characters, and one of the runs I have of from the Silver Age of Marvel that I built is a very very high grade set of Tales to Astonish from 35 up. And that is one of the things that I will be showing here on a Monday to show you all because I want to share I've been at this for an awfully long time. So there's this one.
Okay.
And then this is a book that I was stunned. One of my dealer friends, and a friend first, but a dealer also, is Jordan Seymour, and he is with Semper Fi Comics. And he and a fellow named Yaniv are the two guys that are Semper Fi Comics, and they turn up wonderful stuff. I purchased my New York World's Fair comics of 1939 for him, which is a very important book for me. You can watch other shows. I've gone into it in excruciating detail. But they every so often they'll take a picture of a wall of books, sort of a cattle call, and then I call them up and see on Instagram, and I call them and see what can we do on the price. Well, they made me an offer. Jordan made me an offer I couldn't refuse on this book, and it is L.B. Cole,
Huge book.
Catman, and it's Catman number 28, and this is from June
Okay,
of
well,
1945, and it's Continental Comics.
I'm just gonna grab my copy.
I'm going to take it out of the sleeve here. I don't want to have it have too much. But look at the color strike on this book. And you see there's jewels, and he's got a vest, but he's got all these jewels, his treasure chest that has some kind of a, the skull and the melting candle. And then you have the Catman with a pen, of all things. L.B. Cole signs right down there between his legs. And Kitten is there in the guy's left hand. And this is Rudy Pillay and Don Rico have art inside, as well as Nina Albright, who is another really good female artist, much like Tarpe Mills is, that did Miss Fury. She was a big name on that. Bob Fujitani, who has really good stuff. And L.B. Cole. Kitten's secret identity is revealed to Catman, and the guy on the cover is Dr. Macabre. This is Dr. Macabre for the Who's at Home. And then, but you just see the detail that L.B. Cole and the cover, the detail of the cover, and all of the colors and the content of the cover, but the color strike on this for a 2.5, and it has off-white pages, which is very unusual. Usually it's creamed off-white, which is fine too. Generally, these books you will find with cream to off-white, and again, that's fine. The nicer the page quality is just an extra bit, but this one, I couldn't believe. I said, "Is that the real picture? I mean, is that what the cover really looks like?" He said, "Yes, it is." And I said, "Let's do it." And so that's what I did. I just think
I'm trying to find my copy so we can do the twinsies. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Okay, I'm trying to find my copy. I have no idea where it is.
Okay.
Back here.
Well, I'll just have to subject you to looking at this cover. I'm sorry, chat and people.
That's so funny.
By the way, if you wanted to join to show your colors, Alan sells these, and they're really nice quality sweatshirts and t-shirts and stuff that you can get. So I show the colors because I'm on Team Alan. I really am, and we have so much fun doing this stuff together. And I don't know, sometimes I think we support each other in our mania. He says, and sometimes I will talk him down from buying something. Sometimes it's the opposite way around. Am I crazy? He says, "Yes, you're crazy, but I still wouldn't buy it. It's too much. It's too much money." There's a Cinderella Love 19, the party cover, for $42,000 or something, currently on. I mean, it's so much money. I wouldn't.
Oh, I found it. One sec.
Okay.
1 sec here. I gotta grab it though.
Is it right there with the cask of Amontillado?
Okay. Wow, that was challenging. It's so it's on the very top shelf, at the very bottom of like a stack of slabs.
Oh my God.
So this was a challenge to get out, but I'm sad when I look at this book in a way. So, but I do love it. This is my copy. So mine's a 0.5. But yeah, I mean, both display. I mean, though mine's a 0.5, it actually isn't a bad looking.
No, that's by 0.5. I would assume that the spine is split.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Usually you get a 1.5 with a split spine, don't you? Or are there pieces missing?
It's just
I saw the
spine.
right edge of the cover. I think you're missing a chunk by the
yeah.
head.
So right down here.
Oh yes, I see.
And it's brittle pages. Whenever you get brittle pages.
Oh, brittle. Okay, that's the killer.
Yeah.
And, and a lot of times they're not, there's just a portion of the book is brittle. It's not all brittle.
Yeah. So, the sad thing about this was this book didn't come up very often. And it was one that I had really wanted because I really do like LB Cole.
Yes.
And so I was like, oh, it finally comes up. I'm going to go. This is one, like, I had you in my mind, actually, when I was bidding on this one. You know, go for it. This is like one chance you have to get it, right? And
Yes.
then,
It
so I
hadn't been,
bought it.
it was nowhere. You couldn't find it ever.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. So, I figured a point 0.5, it might go for affordable price too. I set the new record for the book. And after it came up, 3 other copies came up within like a week or 2 after. All higher grade, all sold for about the same price. So I was, yeah, it's what it is. I was very sad. Oh well, I kind of drove the price up and then, yeah, but
I
that's
have
what happens.
a lot of, you will notice with a lot of my books, I have higher grades. I tend to try to buy higher grades because that's just how I am. I'd rather have one very nice book than quite a few other books, because that's just kind of the way that I go.
Hmm.
But when you have a book like this, if the book presents beautifully, and even though the grade is a 2.5, it is a beautifully presenting book, and the chances of you getting a higher grade and the cost difference as far as it's exponential when it takes off for the
Oh,
really,
once it's,
I mean, it's just so you have to say, well, well, I have to have a 6.0. Well, no, what you just buy the book, not the grade.
I think it goes for about a $2,000 for the first, from a point 0.5 to a like 3. It's about $2,000 to $3,000. You know,
Price compression.
price compression. Yeah, it's really
That's what you would call, that's the buy-in for that book. In other
yeah,
words, get your foot in the door. That's where you
yeah.
have to go.
So,
Alan,
but you did well. You did well on that one.
something else happened though, Alan.
Oh. You have one more to show.
Um,
One more to show. One more big one. Okay.
Alan and I are very much into the good girl stuff, and but I'm into the supers as well. I'm into the crime. I'm into the sci-fi. I'm into the Schomburg. I mean, I have a very eclectic taste. I'm sort of all over. I'm into DC especially, but I'm also into Marvel as well. I'm not rigid in that. Buy the book, not the grade. Exactly.
Hmm.
That's my mantra. But a while back, one of our friends is Automatic Comics. His name is Ryan, and
Hmm.
Ryan finds great books. And wherever possible, I like to buy from a friend if I can.
Me too.
If all things being equal, if a friend has a book, and someone I don't know has the book, I tend to go with my friends because I like to help them do well, and they're helping me, and it works out that way. That's how I go. And so I bought a book from Ryan here about, I think about 7 or 8 months ago. And
Oh
it's a
wow.
book, and it's a book that you don't really see all that often. And when you do, it's very hard to get a copy of this book. And so I bought it from him. And it was not a particularly cheap book. I think I paid $3,200 for it. It was an expensive book, but I loved it because it was.
It's so sad.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it's sad. Okay, that's
Um,
a $20,000 book you passed on. Okay.
oh my Lord. So,
Mm.
so what I did again, I was asking Jordan at Semper Fi. I said, "What other stuff?" He says, "Let me. I'll put together a short movie of other stuff I have. If there's anything you have interest in, let me know, because we're going to be going to a convention." And so I said, "Okay." So he's flipping through the box, and then he went right by a book, and I said, wait a minute, and I slowed down the reel, and I took a screenshot, and I said, what about this one? And he says, oh yes, we have that one. And we worked out a deal, and I traded him my 3.5 copy plus cash to get this 7.0 Spirit
Stunner.
22.
Very,
And
very
I
nice.
will take it out of the.
Yeah, that's a beautiful book.
You do not see this book in this grade. The dark blue cover is impossible to find in nice shape, but this one is just a 7.0.
And so, for people that don't know, this book is the ultimate femme fatale cover. It is the #1 femme fatale cover of all time.
By Will Eisner.
Mm.
And this book came out in August of 1950. This is an absolutely brand new slab. It is a grail. Thank you.
See, a very awesome book.
Isn't that a pip?
I mean, this is one, like, you have to almost see it in person. Like, for people that don't know, it has like this beautiful color gradient that just goes from like the light blue all the way to the deep purple. It's just so beautiful. Yeah, very awesome book.
But a 7 on this is just I couldn't believe it. And it's one of those ones where it's sort of like, okay, you know, you've been pitched this book. Now, fish or cut bait. Are you going to play or you're not going to play? And the gal's name here is Skinny. This is the blonde. Her name is Skinny. And the reason she looks like this and she's pulling the knife out of her stocking is because she is in cahoots with a very villainous but beautiful noirette, black-haired gal, whose name, I love this, Eisner came up with these, whose name was Dulcet Tone.
Dulcet Tone, yeah.
Dulcet Tone. And Dulcet Tone was a bad cat. And she crossed Skinny here, finally to the point where Skinny decided she's going to solve the problem. That's not a comic. This is a comic. Yeah. That's not a knife. Oh, some kid's having some fun, you know. And they're going, he's got a knife. He wants the money. He says, and he pulls out the knife, and the guys are going, oh my God. But this Dulcet Tone, then they go into the drink together. They're fighting. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. And then they both go in the drink, and Skinny kills her, knifes her to death underwater. That's the end of her.
Oh, wow. So she kills Dulcet Tone.
She bumped off Dulcet Tone. And then she came back up, and then I can't remember if the cops are sort of lingering around or something, because the spirit she's talking to the spirit about it. There was some sort of a thing. And this is exactly how she looks in the book. And Dulcet Tone is equally good looking in it. And if you want to look at these, you can always go on either Comics A Million or Comic Book Plus, which is generally where I go. But Comic Book Plus. And the easiest way to do it is to
go to Google.
Type in the name of the book on Google. Put a slash. I mean, spirit number 22 / Comic Book Plus. Hit the button, and it'll take you right to it. Otherwise, you have to go through all these categories and things, and then the ads start coming at you and stuff. So this is from 1950. It's still pre-code, but it's from August of 1950, and it's the last issue of Spirit. So this is my grand finale for this time. I don't know how I'm going to top this next week, frankly. I have a few books, but I may be pulling in stuff out of the safe to show. But I want to show, Alan and I both are making it like what we have been doing, but we want to make sure that people know this is what we do here on Monday and have fun. No.
What's the highest grade for Spirit 22?
I don't know. Is Mr. Atkinson still in the chat? Or yes.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He was. In fairness, with Eisner, the Spirit is somewhat tongue in cheek, and he kind of breaks the fourth wall. And I do tend to be a little bit more white bread. I like to have my heroes be my heroes and not make fun of themselves or joke about it quite so much. It is a style, and I do understand it, but you can't argue with art like this. I mean, it's just,
it's beautiful.
You just have to just go, wow. Thank you.
So I have to top that, strangely. So I'm going to try to top that with my book. So one of the people that watches my channel actually presented me a collection of comics. It was a mixture of Alex Schomburg, Canadian Whites, some romance, some good girl comics, like some all top, Zoot, exciting, terrific, all those ones. You know, some really great stuff. Um, uh, what's the not terrific. What's the other one with the T? Begins with thrilling, thrilling. Books from that Alex Schomburg did. And he even had a startling 49, which is this book. He even had a copy of this in a 7.0, maybe an 8, just a really high grade copy of it. And it was just this amazing collection that he presented to me. And basically, I was like, okay, I'm interested in a lot of this stuff. And I picked out about 8 books that I was very interested in. And he asked, you know, what is the best way to sell the collection? And I actually did recommend that he either goes to Heritage. Probably Heritage was my number one choice. And then I said Golden would be another choice, but you might not get your value out of it. He said that he had already approached Golden, and Golden actually offered him 110% of the gavel price. So basically, they would almost get very little on the buyer's premium, and they would just give most of the money to him. So that was a pretty good offer. I said you might not get as much from Golden, still, even though, even though that, than you would get from Heritage.
Golden as yet does not have the reach that
It
Heritage
doesn't.
does.
It's see, Golden's still better known for sports cards, but they do have some big comics. They do have some big comics there.
And they do hit a few home runs too, every so
They
often.
do. Every so often, they actually do very well. So, you know, that was my advice to him. And the thing was, all the books were raw. He had gone through meticulously and graded them all. And I guess he had some store in the past, so he had a bit of comic experience. He wasn't like some noob. He actually knew. And it wasn't his collection. It was a collection of this elderly gentleman that he was helping. And so he graded them, and he graded them very, very strictly. I actually, on many of the grades, I said, maybe you could probably grade it a little higher than that. Now, the book that I bought from him, I did get one book. I actually said, I really want these two. If I can't get anything else, just give me at least these 2 books. He said, sorry, we're going to take them all to Heritage. And he basically, yeah. So there was 8 that I really originally wanted. He chopped it down to 2, and then that got chopped down to 1. And I was a bit sad because I really did want 2 books. 2 books were just like would have been really awesome to get. And the prices that I was like, at first I was doing my typical like, oh, I want to be shrewd negotiator and give him like a bit of a lower price, you know, a bit of that dealer price, like 60% of fair market value. And then I decided against that. So when I actually offered for the 8 books, I actually offered almost fair market value based on them not being graded. You know, not knowing 100% sure, could they be trimmed, could be just restoration. I was taking a bit of a risk, and I offered a very fair price. I said, look at the guide. I'm actually offering you more than guide. and, and he was right. He said, yeah, you did. But then he still went to Heritage. I was like, why? So I was a little bit frustrated with that, but I did manage to get the 1 book. And this was my number 1 choice of all the books that he had because of its historical significance. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I collect good girl art. And one of the things that I always wanted to get is historical books with good girl art related content. And one of the things is within the good girl genre, it is romance. And I always wanted to get the very first romance book, which was a Simon and Kirby book. And the very first romance book is a book called Young Romance #1. And this is it. And this is the very first romance book devoted completely to romance. And this started the whole genre of romance comics. You know, I always like to get that very first whatever, you know, first horror, pre-code horror, first what, you know, first comic book, or, you know, first whatever, first appearance. Well, this is the very first romance book. He graded it at a 5. I I think it actually could grade. It needs a bit of a press. I think if it was pressed, it might grade out at a 6 or 7. It the spine has no ticks. There's a bit of like not foxing, but dust shadow on the back cover, but that's it. It is just a very very nice presenting copy of this book.
What year did it come out, Alan?
1949.
Cool.
So this book, just so you know, a 4.0 just recently sold. Actually, I was worried about it because it was something that was about to set the new precedent for the value of this book. It just sold as I was doing the sale, so it didn't. It happened as I was doing the sale. It sold for 1,500 in a 4.0. So this is much higher grade. This is a really rare book too. I think there's less than 10 on the census or so. And it's, it is a Simon and Kirby cover. Just a really cool book. And it is like, I love that piece of history element where you get the first, first whatever it is. So at least I managed to get this from him. So I can't be too mad at the guy for for going off to Heritage, but I would have liked to have gotten more of that collection. I'll be bidding on it probably when it goes up at Heritage. But definitely this is the grail for me. And yeah, that's my story.
That's a
Thank you.
good story.
Yeah.
I have just before we wrap up, I promised I would show the balance of the books I had up on my bookshelf.
Okay.
So I will
Okay.
show these if I can.
And I'd like to reiterate about the awards show as well. Okay.
If you like our content,
Vote for us.
please vote for us.
Also, by the way, anyone that's watching, if you check I was going to mention this when you were talking about the merch. There's a new shirt that I dropped. It's my favorite cover. It's the one with the monkey, the girl swinging.
Oh, Judy of the Jungle?
Yeah, is it Judy? I think it's Judy of the Jungle. Is it Judy of the Jungle or is it Panther?
Rula?
Princess Panther. Princess Panther.
Okay.
It's Princess Panther. She's like, and the ape's like kind of looking up at her. It's a really cute cover. So I got that as a full shirt.
Do you have that image? Do you have that image, Alan? Well, let me show these. You find that image to show.
Oh, okay.
You have it in your folder.
I'm not sure if I have it. Okay, you show your books and I'll show the image.
So I collect I collect Silver Age as well as Golden Age. Most of my silver stuff I got quite a long time ago, and like I say, I basically sit on it. Here is my copy of Avengers #1, and I have it in a 5.5. A lot of times with this book, the problem is the spine, because Loki's green costume invariably is because Martin Goodman, who was the head guy at Marvel, chose the cheap ass paper, and very thin. And as a result, they're so easy to damage them. And then, of course, the other thing is Marvel chipping that you get because they used a cutter that needed to be sharpened or the blades replaced. They didn't care. And that's why it would crush the edges of the books. It would not cut the edge of the book. So it's just a time bomb. I had my Fantastic Four #5, which I had as a kid, delaminated. I had it in a box, flat. I took very good care of my books, and the thing just basically unraveled. Just not even touching it. The edges, the right edge, it just turned into like someone punched you in the mouth and like 4 or 5 of your teeth are missing.
My copy.
Oh, okay, twinsies.
Yeah, twinsies. I figure, hey, if I had it handy, so.
I bought this one back probably about 11 years ago. I think I bought this one.
I bought this back in 2019, I believe.
Earlier than that, when did the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie come out, Alan?
I want to say 2014 or 2000, something like that.
But just at the very first inkling of the Guardians of the Galaxy, they were mentioning that they were going to have a character named Groot on the show. And I was familiar with the Marvel Monster anthology books from years ago. And the one that was the toughest and the one everyone wanted was Fin Fang Foom. That was always the best one. And it's a great story. It's a great cover. And so anyway, and one of the other ones they had, of course, was Groot. And it was in Tales to Astonish number 13. But it was just another one of the mix of all the various Marvel monsters that they had before the
I said
Fantastic.
2014. I was
Oh,
right.
you're right. Good enough. So in 2013, then when they first talked about it, I was looking on and I said I haven't looked for Groot for a long time, and I had looked a couple times, and they were always at like 2.5 or 3 or 4, and they were never really cheap. The Fin Fang Fooms were more expensive, and the problem with the Tales to Astonish 13 is that it has this bronze cover. It has a kind of a bronze metallic looking cover. Anyway, so all of a sudden, here's this one, and I couldn't believe it. It was a 7. And
Wow.
so this is amazing because the cover is actually produced by both Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko together
Oh, wow.
on the cover. And this is my copy of Groot, of Tales to Astonish 13.
I have to do the twinsies every time. Sorry. My copy.
That's no, you don't have to apologize.
So my copy is missing centerfold.
Which, ladies and gentlemen, is very common in Golden Age books because during the war they used one staple to hold 68 pages together, and the staples were not long enough to hold it. They weren't long enough to hold the centerfolds. It was ridiculous. How would one staple save the war? But evidently that's what they did. But this one, again, this is Martin Goodman at work.
Yeah. Okay. I just
the story in a nutshell. I have 2 more to show, and then I'm done. The story in a nutshell is that Groot lands from another planet and starts destroying everything. And there's this scientist guy who's a wimp, and his wife is a harridan. She just is hassling him. What a wimp you are! What a jerk! And he says, oh honey. Well, anyway, so she says, why don't you go to that monster Groot's destroying the town? Everybody's in trouble. Why don't you go down and be a man? Grow a pair. Go down there and fight the thing like all the other men. And he's going, I have to come up with something to save the town. I don't know what, he can't really hear her, this magpie just, hassling him. So he says, I've got to come up with something. And then they cut back to Groot and they're using flamethrowers on him and grenades, and it doesn't stop him. The flamethrower doesn't do nothing. And he's going, I will kill you. And he's ripping stuff up. And buildings are falling, and the tentacles are coming out and crushing cars and everything. And then the scientist guy goes, I know what I'll do. I'll create super termites. So
like you do.
And then so he incubates these high performance termites, gets a zillion of them in a jar, and then he runs up to him and says, I defy you. Thanks, Lyle. He says, I defy you, Groot. I shall destroy you before midnight. And he throws the super termites onto him. And then Groot goes, and everyone goes, wow, Doc, you saved us. You saved the town. You saved Earth. You saved everything. And the wife goes, oh, honey, I think you're so wonderful. And if I was the guy, I would have said, honey, hit the bricks. Be static all this time.
You should get some other girl, like some hotter girl. That'd be
better.
That'd be a nice little
then,
twist.
he says, God, you saved the town. He's great. And he says, oh, David, oh, you're so wonderful. You're my husband. He says, yeah, right. But anyway, they end up driving off in the sunset. Everything is fine. But that's the original story of Groot. That's how it went. But that is it's a really super tough book now because of Groot. And Groot really is great. Vin Diesel's voice. I mean, the way they wrote the character, it shows you how the power of a movie can really change the way a character. And James Gunn, who's now with DC, has got a chance to do this with DC characters, which with luck will give people to take another look at DC Comics. And if you like DC in any way, I strongly recommend you go after the ones that you like the best, because if something good happens, you want to get in on the ground floor before things start to change. So there's that. And then my favorite book. There you go. Wrong company though, Andreas.
Wrong company, yeah.
The other thing was my favorite. In 1960, we moved to a house up in a different part of Portland, and all the kids in the neighborhood collected the Legion of Superheroes, and everybody had them. I had a subscription to it and all this stuff. Loved the Legion of Superheroes, but no one knew about, had heard of, or even ever seen an Adventure 247. And for years and years and years and years, and I would see them every so often, one would show up, and they always would be expensive and terrible, beat to pieces, because they were read and read and read, passed around and loved. Finally, one day at my LCS, I went in to pick up. I had sent in the first He-Man, and then the first appearance, I think, of Skeletor or whatever, the two, and they both had come back 9/8. And I was so happy. It took a long time for them to come in. As he was unboxing where my books were, this book was there, and I had to stop and I bought it. And here is my copy of Adventure 247, the first appearance of the Legion of Superheroes. And it's they called him Lightning Boy, and of course his costume is not the right colors, nor is Saturn Girl, but Cosmic Boy is. But the color strike on this one is just amazing. It's the nicest copy I ever saw. It's got cream to off-white. You bet. Thank you. One thing you will notice on this, on the right edge, okay, you'll notice there's a very slight darkening, right about 1/4 of an inch all the way down along the cover. That's also very present in Action Comics 252, which is a sort of the same vintage. Has the same thing almost invariably on the books. And what it was when they printed these books, the chemicals and what have you that were used during this year. The year of this was April of 1958. Okay, and so they always, all of them had this slight discoloration on the edge, and I didn't understand why it was there. It's sort of like Batman #3. The whole
Yeah,
picture's
there's
always,
that weird.
there's always a white stripe down by the spine. That's just how they were printed. I think in all the time I've looked at Batman 3s, there's only been one cover I saw that was almost directly on register. All the rest of them have a little white stripe on them. So it's just one of the vagaries of how they printed these. And let's face it, they weren't printing books, with rich Morocco leather. But it ends up being, that's how they actually are. And at that point, then I don't care, because that's, this is the state of the type of book that it is. But this was really my favorite. I mean, this was a wonderful scratched an itch from 1960, basically, to get this book. And the last one I will show was a book that I bought from Dream to Real, who's a very nice guy on Instagram. And he used to have a thing for the best Instagram channels. He hasn't done that for quite some time. But he would find books from time to time, and he would then basically offer them to me and other people too. And he said, I know you like Schomburg, so here's a Schomburg that I found. Are you interested? And it was off. It needed work. It needed to be cleaned. It needed to be pressed, because it was definitely, it had spine roll and it was not right. And he recommended that I use Hero Restorations to have the work.
No.
And if you haven't followed this, Hero Restorations was just arrested for basically usurping approximately $300,000 worth of books from people sending them to him to have restoration work done. His work was good. Unfortunately, he succumbed to temptation, and they arrested him right here in Oregon. He's down in Lebanon, Oregon. I drove down to deliver the book to him in person, because I didn't want to put it in the mail. I said, I'll just drive down. I want to see this guy. And he was in basically a tiny little, like in construction sites, they have this trailer that, that they drag in, and they put, this is the office of the trailer office.
Wow.
And it was just sort of on this dead gravel road in the middle of nowhere. If I didn't have GPS.
Was he the Unabomber as well, or just
I don't know. But he knew his business, because I got there and I kind of went, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. But he came highly recommended by
Whole
dream,
bunch of people.
a whole bunch of people. And
Hmm.
so, okay, I gave it to him, and he basically did a beautiful job on this book, and it's Wonder Comics number 15. And it is by any measure at least a 7 or 7.5. But for some reason, because again, the vagaries of printing down at the bottom, this book has various printing off register things on all of them. Either the spine is out, or the top is out, or the bottom is out. This is signed by Alex Schomburg as Zila. This was the time when he would sign his book Zila. But this is one of the coolest covers, one of the best airbrush covers he did. Right up
It's
there
one of
with
my favorite, actually.
Mike.
One sec here. I have to do twinsies with you. Mine's a nice copy as well. Mine's
Very
restored,
nice.
but
Well, yours gets the thumbs up. How
mine
come?
gets the thumbs up this
How
time.
come yours gets the thumbs up?
Can you do a thumb? Is there a way to do a thumbs down? No.
I don't know.
Mine's higher grade, but mine's restored. Cover trimmed. That was the issue.
Oh God.
Oh well.
That's of all the restoration there is, of all of it, that's the one I really just can't go with. I mean, if it's had color touch or tear seals or things like that, I really, cover is cleaned. I don't care about that. That's what they did with big books back in the day. And then when they came out with the purple label, it became bad. But if you look at the high grade books are the biggest, best books, more generally speaking, a lot of times half or more on the census are all restored, because that's what you did. You wanted to conserve and protect these investments that you made on these really nice books.
This actually has small color touch too. Smaller color touch, piece add to cover, bottom edge of cover trimmed.
And what's the level of restoration on it?
Slight A1.
A1 is not much.
Yeah, no, you can actually see where it's been trimmed. It's not much. It's just like a little bit, like right there.
Well, at least yours wasn't trimmed on all three sides in capital letters, Alan.
Yeah, actually, they put it in capital letters, so don't worry. Cover trimmed.
Why do they do that? You don't have to do it. That's rubbing salt in the wound, you know. By the way, this all three trimmed. Yeah, because if all four were trimmed, there wouldn't be a book. The spine would be gone.
Yeah, so
that's it.
Okay. I have one last thing to show. This is the cover that's going to be is on one of the shirts that you can order now.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's a cute one. I just think it's actually one of the more fun covers. There was a lot of fun covers in this comic.
Now, may I ask who created the artwork for that?
I forgot the guy's name. I forgot. I should really know, but I don't remember. Sorry. It's in the book. But yeah, I forget. I actually do know once I hear something. I want to say something Carr.
Name, then you'll say I knew that.
I think it's something Carr, actually. A Carr. I think his name's Carr, like Carr. But I'm not sure. I want to say A Carr. I think that's his name. Okay. But yeah, the ape should have had my face. Yes, that would have been funny. But,
that would have been good.
That would be, but it's really cute. It's Thrilling Comics number 69. You know, little extra.
I'll have to buy me one.
Yes, it's a nice shirt. So I'm actually thinking of getting one. So yeah, so that's.
We're talking now. The Kickstarter will harvest mid-September, you say?
Okay, so a couple things happening. I was just given the final layouts for the comic. Okay, and so I got a PDF that's going to be something that's going out to everybody soon. So everyone's going to get the digital. Everyone that ordered the digital copy will get the digital copy. Okay, so the digital copies are going out this week probably, or soon, very soon. I'm thinking very soon, like either this week or next week.
Does the digital copy have all the covers that are in it?
No. No, it has most, but it doesn't have some of the variants.
Okay.
Okay. There's one variant that only 3 people in the whole world will get.
I think there's only one that only one person gets in all the
And
world.
there's one that only one person gets, and that's you.
Some poor schlemiel, some schmuck who lost
So
his
yeah, so
mind.
there's a few that are a little bit rarer. Those aren't included inside. But there was a few changes that I made to the comic. I rewrote some parts that I thought needed to be like Sunny. When I wrote it, it made sense at the time. It was just like a very short blurb because there's really not much information on Sunny.
No, really, no, there isn't. It's just
So
a really, really cute book. I mean, it's a really cute.
yeah. So I wrote a bit more to kind of
Time.
beef it up a bit. So
And
yeah,
that was by the guy that did that does Darcy or whatever her name is.
who?
The guy, the artist that does that was
The one that did Sunny was Alf
and
Elstein.
Alf.
Yeah.
No. I mean, on your for your Kickstarter.
Oh, the one that did Sunny was Bill Yeager.
Yeager.
Not Daniel Yeager. Dean. I'm going through my names. Sorry, I had to do that. Dean Yeager.
Desdemona Yeager.
Yeah, I'll just keep on saying it until I get through all my D's, and then I'll get the right name.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah, Rumpelstiltskin. See, I could do that. I'd be there. Okay, so I just go through my names until I get it, and then I get it.
So the copy's all in now, and so Steve here in Portland, evidently the guy's name is Steve, and he's here in Portland, and he's going to print it. And also, Alan told me that the usual printer that they got was evidently booked, so he went with a higher quality printer than he usually, and the other was really good. And now
this is going to be even higher quality.
Step even higher for the Kickstarter. So
yeah,
that's
a little bit more expensive, but you know, I figure it's worth it. Got to do it right.
This is going to be great.
Yeah, so it looks good. So far, the digital looks good. So
I can't wait for the stickers myself.
The stickers are coming, and then I'll be truly a sticker person at that point. Then I'll be officially a sticker person.
Awesome.
So yeah. So that's it for today, guys. Vote for us. The link is in the description. Vote for us and vote often.
Please. We would very much appreciate it, and we appreciate you, and that's for sure. We love coming here on Mondays to do this. Visit us on Fridays, and of course, Alan has wonderful content and box openings, answers questions, gives you
the finale is tomorrow for my current unboxing.
Oh, that's right. But also speculation both on Golden Age and Silver Age books, especially with the Silver Age with Mark in England. So it's an international thing.
Oh, and just quickly, one more note. This is not about my channel, but it's about Matt's channel. Matt is at 224, I believe now. He's actually got his 222 that he needed.
Which he got at church.
At church, I know.
All jumped in to make it happen, which is great.
Yeah, so Matt's at the magic number now. He's going to put up an introduction video tomorrow where you can basically just put your name on it, and you can win a great prize. There's some comics. Those aren't the cool part. The cool part is you get an autographed photo of me, and that just, you know, that's priceless.
That's wife wants that. She said, "Yeah, I want a picture of Alan." And I said, "How many more pictures from the 8th grade does he have?"
So yeah, so it's like, yeah, that picture was taken.
When was that picture taken?
It was taken, I think, 10 years ago, when I was prettier.
Oh, back then. You're prettier now.
I actually use that picture still. It's my business photo. So
well, then when you go on a video call and they'll go, "Well, where's Alan?"
Who's
it's me. I'm Alan.
So, yeah.
Why? What do you don't like about me?
So yeah. So go over, check out Matt's channel, and you can enter and win a great prize.
Prize
package. Well,
because there's a bunch of books. There's a lot of good books.
You put some good books in there, and there's a T-shirt too.
And, and then you get Alan.
Well, you know, people might like that.
Sure, one of Alan's shirts too. One of
I threw in a shirt as well.
Right there. You get one of his shirts too.
Yeah, there's so much greatness in there.
Premium.
Okay, bye everyone. Thanks guys.